And good afternoon, Kurt and Allie here joining you, just bringing you some updates because we do have some stuff to update you when it comes to the severe thunderstorm watches. And let's go ahead and go to the boards if we can, Allie. There it is. You can see the National Weather Service has now dropped the severe thunderstorm watches out there in central Pennsylvania. It's now just over eastern PA, and that's what we're going to keep an eye on. Where are the storms now? Let's go to the now image, and boy, they are everywhere from Tioga, just getting out of there, into Bradford, Susquehanna, stretching back through Wyoming. Sullivan just finished with some downpours there, and they are moving east pretty quickly. Let's zoom in on one area. You can see where we're seeing some rotation in that storm. We're keeping a close eye on that. That's the cluster of storms that came through Lackawanna County, creating the severe thunderstorm warning. And the other thing you'll notice is a lot of lightning, cloud-to-ground lightning with these. There's Towanda, Sayre. Got some heavy rain coming down there, cloud-to-ground lightning. One spot I'm keeping a close eye on that's moving northeast is that one right there along Route 29, and that is moving towards Factoryville. So you folks in that area, be prepared. That's some torrential rain falling with that. Then you come down into the back mountain, Dallas, get ready. You've got some storms moving in there. Benton just had the downpours. Now it's getting ready to head into Nanticoke, and we are looking at Mahanoy City down into Pottsville. That's some impressive storm down just south of Pottsville. That has the potential for some hail as well as cloud-to-ground lightning, and we're looking at a bunch of different areas. Williamsport, we showed this just like an hour or so ago. It was pouring there, you had a lot of rain, and now this is what you get as those storms are moving through, and now they're east of that region. But look at the Wyoming Valley. Allie, this is where we're seeing that storm just beginning to approach our region. And you can see how dark the sky is getting. Allie's joining me now with what kind of damage we've seen and where they're going next.
So far, I mean, we haven't really seen a whole lot of damage. Some hail, some reports of some hail, but a lot of that wind damage, those icons you see, that's to the west of our area, in the west of the State College area. That's a lot of wind damage. But for us, we've really only, from the National Weather Service, have picked up one local storm report, and that's hail in Clifford. But that's about pea-size hail, 3/10 of an inch. So again, that's all we're picking up right now. But a look at, again, Kurt just showed you where the storms are right now and then where they're headed. So let's zoom in on farther north, and we'll put the storm tracks on. So moving east pretty quickly, like Kurt just said.
Yeah, that one near Factoryville, that's certainly a concern.
About 35 miles an hour. So in the Scranton area, within the next half hour, right around 2 o'clock for the Old Forge, Scranton area, Blakely 210, Mount Cobb 218. We'll do the same thing now a little bit farther south. So within the next half hour to an hour.
And the fun thing about doing this live like we are online is the fact that she's actually talking to you, but at the same time doing tasks on the computer that you have to do in order to pull these up. It's something that we deal with all the time.
So same thing, these are moving east about 35 miles an hour. And there's some times for you. So in the next 20 minutes in Wilkes-Barre, 204 for Jenkins, 220 for Springbrook, Madison, 233. And then a similar story. Again, let's go across our southern tier.
Look at that one just south of Pottsville.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty
gonna be
impressive.
moving out of our area. So there's some times, if you are headed to the Allentown area, about an hour until that storm is there. So moving super quick.
Yeah, they are. That line moving through. If we could go back just for a minute, Allie, to Max 1, and we'll punch that up. So what are our biggest concerns with these? Our concerns, hail. There is the outside chance of a tornado. We don't expect, to be a real big factor here, but that chance is still there. Hail, quarter-sized, wind gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour. In Tioga County, we had peak wind gusts close to 50 earlier today. And then, of course, the potential for some flash flooding in that area that Allie was showing near Factoryville, that purple area. That's some heavy rain that's going to be moving through. So let's talk about, again, future clouds and radar. We'll just move it real slow. If you have someone working outside, spouse, friend, relative, whatever, you may want to just give them a heads up if they're not paying attention, especially, Allie, if they're working construction and they're around a lot of equipment.
Well, and look at, I mean, we had some sun and then a downpour come through. So of course, conditions change so rapidly.
And if they're mowing lawns or they're doing things like that, they're not going to be able to hear that thunder, and those storms will be approaching. So this just gives you a general idea as they're moving through. And then there may be just a little bit of residual coming in after that, bringing us a few lingering showers, maybe a thunderstorm into Wayne County and then parts of Pike County as it moves through. And again, I talked about this at noon today, but it's worth mentioning when you're seeing these Lightning Explained, electrons begin zigzagging as they head down. It's called the step leader, and you can see the negative and positive charges. As the leader gets closer to the ground, it draws that positive charge up, like where that tree is that you see right there. And then as the leader and the streamer, as they merge, a powerful electrical current flows. And what we see is that return strike that happens at about 60,000 miles a second. That's how fast the lightning is. So it looks like that flicker that you see right there. This process repeats several times, giving you that flicker. And you know, the amazing thing about this, Allie, is when we're watching these storms, all this occurs
in less than 1 second.
In less than 1 second, absolutely. So that's certainly something to watch very, very closely. And just off the top, if you're just joining us, we've got some new counties in there. Carbon and Monroe have now been added. Remember, we talked about that earlier, Allie, the fact that they were still out, yeah. And Central Pennsylvania has been dropped. So,
now that line is east of Central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, let's do one more quick. We'll jump to Max 2 and show us what you got there, Allie.
So let me put that in motion. This is just the last hour. You can see how quickly it was in and out of the Williamsport area, now entering the Scranton and Wilkes-Barre area within the next half hour.
It was really stormy in the Williamsport area. I know you were showing just that one storm report from early on, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't damage out there in Central Pennsylvania.
And more could be coming in.
Yes, normally you guys are really good with that and sending us photos when we talk about where these storms are. But now let's talk about, Allie, how much longer.
You see that tornado warning? That's not in our area, but there is a tornado warning.
That's that system that we were just talking about. Can you take me back to Max 1 for a second? And this is that area.
You saw rotation there?
Yep, that's the one right there. That's actually the same cluster of storms that moved through the Clark Summit.
Yep.
Yeah, it didn't spawn any tornado warnings there, but it did in fact produce a severe thunderstorm warning. And we do have an active severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for parts of, Bradford and Susquehanna counties. I want to go ahead and zoom in on that one real quick. And we've kept the attributes on just so you can see what it is we're dealing with right there. So that's the area right there that has the severe thunderstorm warning issued by the National Weather Service, damaging winds and hail. And then the one that Allie was just talking about right there that just moved out of our viewing area as that was spawned. So we're keeping a close eye. Allie, how much longer? That's the question I'm being asked. You've been here in the weather office when I've been getting these phone calls. People want to know exactly when is the rain going to end in my backyard. So what are we looking at in terms of duration here? I think we're probably talking late afternoon.
This actual line, I think, within the next 2 hours for the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area, Poconos, Carbon, Monroe, Pike counties have a little bit longer. There's still some shower activity behind the line, but this actual line and this severe threat, I would say, again, the next 2 hours for the Scranton and Wilkes-Barre area, the next 3 hours farthest east.
And we're on Max 2 right now, so why don't you just take us real quick down through this line, give people an idea. We're going to sign off here in just a little bit, but give people a heads up as to where these things are going and what they can expect.
Again, moving east at about 35 miles an hour. There's some times for you. The Paulpack area right around 240, Mount Cobb again 217. Okay. The Scranton and Wilkes-Barre area really within the next 20 minutes. And then going farther south.
And it is really impressive, Allie, how much cloud-to-ground lightning there is, especially in that center line. I mean, it reminds me of the old saying that we've mentioned many times, like paparazzi in the sky. You know, you can get so many lightning strikes going off.
Well, you love when thunder roars go indoors, but when you see a flash dash inside.
I like that. That's good. Did you come up with that?
No,
one?
I just saw that on Twitter yesterday.
Gotcha. I like that one.
There's some more times for you. So Stroudsburg 209, Smithfield Township 215, Coolball Township 222, Blairstown 231.
So the bottom line is, if you're going to be outside this afternoon, especially over eastern Pennsylvania, be prepared. If we go back to max 1, we'll just do one wide view and give people an understanding where these storms are. I'm going to go ahead and put it into motion. And as you can see, the storm started about noontime out in central Pennsylvania, and then gradually working their way to the east. I'll widen that view out just a little bit more. And as Allie was mentioning before, if you look out in western Pennsylvania, we're not out of the woods yet. Yes, we may have a gap where we don't see any rain for several hours, but there will be some more showers moving through as an upper level disturbance helps push some of these showers through as well. So that pretty much wraps it up with us. I mean, we just wanted to bring you up to speed and let you know what's happening here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania with these storms that are coming through right now. So we're going to continue to monitor them. We're going to have more if in fact needs, like a tornado warning that we just saw issued in upstate New York. Allie was telling you earlier, that's the one that produced the severe thunderstorm warnings in parts of Clark Summit in those areas. So Allie's going to be, you're going to be tracking some storm damage if it's there, right?
Yep, I'll be out in the field if I need to be. Of course, we'll break in if there is a tornado warning. That's the only time we'll break into regularly scheduled programming.
That's right. Stay safe out there. Once these storms move through, pleasant weather coming in tomorrow. Have a good afternoon.